And now, the true villain is revealed. A tiny little bug thing.
Everyone? This is the last time we fight together. Okay?
Huh?
What I'm trying to say is, after we beat you, Yevon, I'll disappear.
What are you talking about?
I'm saying goodbye.
Not now.
I know it's selfish, but this is my story.
No, it's not. It's Yuna's. So, they built this guy up so much that I don't think there is a way... We can't summon! I don't think there's a way that they could do it so that it wouldn't be disappointing, but come on! Like, not only do we all have auto life on us, so it's impossible for us to die, but he's incredibly easy. The way I always beat him, and I think he has, like, I don't know. I don't have sensor, so I don't know. Was I always zombified him, and then he heals himself every few turns or whatever, and then that does damage. But you can, like, cast Reflect on it, so he heals you. Or if you're maxed out like I am, you can do this. Now, we watch the ending. What did they see? I don't know what they saw. The idea that the Chocobo knows what happened. And I'm guessing this would be Gata if I'd let Gata live. But no, Gata must die. The Chocobo's like saluting or bowing. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention to everyone else that I'm also dead.
Don't stop.
But
It's all right.
Oh.
It's been long enough. This is your world now.
I'm off to Kingdom Hearts 2. And the world was destroyed. By whatever that explosion was.
Yuna, I have to go. I'm sorry I couldn't show you Xanarkand. Goodbye.
Hey!
we're gonna see you again.
Nobody goes to help.
takes time.
Everyone has lost something precious. Everyone here has lost homes, dreams, and friends. Everybody? Now, sin is finally dead. Now, Spira is ours again. Working together. Now we can make new homes for ourselves. And new dreams. Although I know the journey will be hard, we have lots of time. Together, we will rebuild Spira. The road is ahead of us, so let's start out today. Just one more thing. The people and the friends that we have lost. No dreams that fade. Never forget them.
Alright, so that was Final Fantasy X, the remastered version. I hope you enjoyed my Let's Play. I really enjoyed playing this again. As I've said many times, I absolutely love the gameplay of this. So, I of course didn't mind all of the grinding. Like, oh boy, was there a lot of grinding so that I could beat the super bosses. But I did it again, and I enjoyed it because I love the gameplay so much. As for the story, I think a lot of people think this story is really great because they don't stop to think about it. And keep in mind, I love this game. I don't think the story is awful, but people act like this game is really good because the story is great, but there's like so many plot holes that it's just unbelievable. And I don't really want to go into it now because it would just be like such a drag to hear me talk about that, but either way. In case you didn't notice, this Let's Play was very long, so I'm having trouble figuring out what I should say because pretty much everything I've needed to say I've already said. I really wish, like I said before, I really wish that more games would implement the, like, switching out party members as a strategy kind of thing. And, like, yeah, I said that other video games let you switch out your party members, but it's usually at, like, a penalty, like at a turn penalty, like, you probably don't want to do it. But I really like how Final Fantasy X handles the switching out and how it's based on, like, every character is good to defeat a certain type of monster. The boss design in this game is incredible. I love how every boss is a puzzle that you have to solve, so even if you beat a really hard boss, the next one might be hard in a different way. It's not just all brute force as it is with a lot of other turn-based RPGs, which I think is it's kind of the point of a turn-based RPG is to make things puzzle-based, because Otherwise, you might as well just be playing a fighting game. The music is incredible. I do enjoy the remaster of, what's it called, the live orchestra, whatever, the new soundtrack, and I like how they put both options in the remaster so that you can choose whichever one you want. There are only a few songs from the remastered music that I prefer the originals to. The Susuta Kidane. I thought that said vocals Rikku at first. Okay. Music's great. Graphics, groundbreaking. Still look really good here. I think the remaster is very well done, except I do not like how they redid a lot of the faces. Seems like they could have just improved the models and left the faces alone. I like how Kinoc is like right below Sid, like the very important character, Kinoc. Yeah, the graphics were groundbreaking at the time. They still look good now. And the sequel to this game, Final Fantasy X-2, I'm doing a Let's Play of that as well. I was doing it alongside this, but I'm going to upload it after I finish uploading all of Final Fantasy X. So it might be a while from me recording this to me actually getting to put Final Fantasy X-2 up on my channel, but it's coming. And it will be a 100% walkthrough. I think the voice acting is... it varies. It was definitely... some of the sync... it doesn't, like, sync up right, with, like, the lips and everything, but I don't know. I can't really blame them. It's 2001 game. Was it 2000 or 2001? I don't know, whatever. It was a pretty... I use the term groundbreaking a lot, but yeah, it was very groundbreaking to have a fully voice-acted game. I think Yuna is the only voice actor that's, like, really good, I think. Everyone else is kind of meh. And Lulu's fine, too. All fans of Final Fantasy. Can you really be a fan of Final Fantasy? Doesn't that mean that, like, you have to be a fan of, like, every single game? Because I only like Final Fantasy X. I wouldn't call myself a fan of Final Fantasy. Whatever. Yeah, I think the remaster is very good. It has not crashed once, even with all these mods. It functions very well on my computer. There is an extra scene. There are no requirements to get this scene, you just get it after the credits. But, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.